Poets with Purpose was established in 2018 to provide an environment for creativity, inspiration, encouraging individuals' growth and development in the poetic arts. And our first reader is Noel A. Figueroa. He's a poet, author, blogger, workshop facilitator, and event host from Brooklyn who has been reading and writing poetry for over 10 years. Bear with me as I read off my phone. I'm so sorry, y'all. He self-published his first book of poems, One Man's Journey, back in 2007 and has been actively blogging since 2012 through his site, The Anointed Pen Scrolls. His poetry touches on various subjects such as faith in God, love, current events, and humor. His poem, This New America, is featured in his anthology 2020, The Year That Changed America, by Kevin Powell's Writing Workshop. His poetry has also been featured in the Poetry Month anthologies by the New Brunswick Free Public Library. He is the host of PWP Sessions podcast and facilitator of Poets with Purpose. Give it up for Noel.
Hello everyone, good to see you. Good to be here today. This is my first time facilitating a time slot here at the festival for Poets with Purpose, so I'm honored for the opportunity. I'm going to get into this first poem. It's called Butterfly Take Flight. Dare to soar in the boldness of your colors, your shades of illuminating hues brighten the rooms of your destiny. Dare to soar in your calling with the light of Christ in you. Dare to stand out in your circle of influence, carried by the winds of change and transformation. Float and flutter through the skies, in and out with ease, energized by your soul, prosperity. You are in full bloom. You are in full bloom, yet your glory has yet to be revealed as you move in your purpose. As you move intentional and direct, you have a story to tell. You have a standard to uphold. You have a mission to accomplish for the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. So you shall not be moved. So you shall not be moved. Dare to soar with the love of God in you and through you. Dare to be who God has called you to be. Fly with wings of grace and determination, finding peace in pursuit of your destiny. Thank you. Thank you. So this second piece I'm sharing is called Gainfully Exhausted. It's said that you can't get a job without experience, but you can't get experience without a job. This is one of life's biggest catch-22s that seems to be deliberately ignored. These days, all the experience you have, the degrees you have, don't matter. They will still find a way to say that you're not qualified enough. Now it's more about who you know, not what you know. The massive monotony that is multiple resumes sent out daily, weekly, too many to count, I lost count, and the ability to care. And the ability to care enough to keep track. 90 to 95% of my resumes getting immediate rejections. The audacity of not giving the courtesy of at least one conversation before getting politely declined for the next person. And you gotta love the bland, vanilla, sugar-coated responses to dress up telling you no. Thank you for applying to XYZ Incorporated. While your skills and experience were impressive, we have decided to move forward with other candidates whose skills are more closely, quote unquote, more aligned with the role. After about 90,000 of these same responses, you begin to cue Charlie Brown's teacher's voice. Want, 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 want. You begin to cue D'Angelo's first album, track number 5. Those that know what I'm talking about. And you seriously begin to loathe the insulting narrative, the narrative that says people don't want to work. No, the reality is fully capable workers are getting passed over because companies don't want to compensate people with experience. People are also tired of being expected to work jobs where salaries too blasphemous to be considered a living wage. It's insulting to suggest that I can make $15 an hour and be able to afford $2,000 a month in rent. It's insulting to want someone with a bachelor's degree and pay $30,000 to $40,000 a year. It's delusional to expect people to accept starvation wages as the cost of living keeps going up. It's violently mind-blowing to be more qualified, to be more than qualified for something in your field, only to be made to feel like you're not qualified enough. So here I am after resume number 5,989 getting tossed in the reject pile. Oops, I did say that I have lost the ability to care and to keep track, but I digress. The monotony of it all has royally racked my brain. I need a long vacation from job searching. Wanting to be gainfully employed shouldn't lead to being gainfully exhausted. Thank you. Thank you all so much. So coming up behind me will be Felicia Sherelle, followed by Douglas Kayla, Crimson Red, and then Jacob Moses. Thank you all so much for your time.
It's time to take the bags off. Let's see if I can actually take it off. Yay! Yay! I'm a little short for this. All right, up next we have Felicia Sherelle. Felicia is an author, poet, workshop leader, and writing consultant. She's the founder of Felicia IN Print, providing editing, ghostwriting, and publishing consulting. She is the communications officer for the Arts of Reforming Communities, a not-for-profit dedicated to transforming neighborhoods through the arts. She's the vice president of Wordseed Inc., a literary arts organization that produces the annual Patterson Poetry Festival. Felicia is a performance poet, featuring high energy and diverse topic poetry through the Passaic County Community College TAPP program. She utilizes her background in child advocacy for interactive youth poetry workshops, as well as school culture and climate workshops for students and professional development for staff. Please help me in welcoming Felicia.
Dancing to death, with ricocheting rockets on the rise and heaping helpings of hissing hot hints of horror. Downstream are dollops of debris atop decaying dead with a scent of savagery soot and a fume of fermented fiery flesh. Hush, while we hope to hear a heart's hum or a mouth's mumble, not a growl nor a grumble, not a gas, but we got a grenade and a meticulously misused missile. Oh my. They leveled the local liveliness lethally. They victimized the villagers, pillaged the parishioners, killed the kids, snuffed out the soldiers, and wiped out witnesses. Battling brothers, bickering brutes, Ishmael, Isaac, with their last breath, dance to their deaths. Thank you, New York Poetry Festival. How y'all doing? This is my first time on the island, my first time at the festival. That was an excerpt from Dancing to Death. As you know, the war in the conflict in the Middle East is one that has been going on for generations. And so that's an excerpt from Dancing to Death. My next piece, I'm like so excited to be here. This is so exciting. My first time here. So y'all know that brown people built this country, right? Y'all know that this country's wealth is built on the backs of brown people, right? This is called I Belong at the Ritz.
Say it.
With its fancy curtains and keyless entry, I belong there. So do you, and especially you. We belong at the Ritz. Crisp, clean, white sheets, not with face holes cut out, but unbothered, creaseless, divine even. I like my sheets without holes in them. The Ritz-Carlton. The brochure says the gold standard for luxury experiences and unwavering commitment to service. The police say they serve too. So when I walk by the Ritz, they ask me if I'm lost. I belong there. I belong here on this stolen land. Not more than the Lenape people. This land is their land. From California to the New York Island, they belong at the Ritz for real. with its fancy hotel smell. As if the hoods and ghettos of America don't have a fancy story of their own to tell. With their potholed streets stripped bare of dignity by underfunding the arts and overpaying police. While criticizing the educators, politicians suck dry of integrity, devilish corporate greed, using COVID to justify inflated dreams, tax breaks for outsiders to overdevelop by any means, raise the rents to heights unseen, the caucasity of these travesties. But as for me, I belong at the Ritz. With my click-clack clogs and breathtaking beach breeze, but the doorman keeps staring at me. He wonders if I'm in the place I should be. I tell him I am. This is my hotel. My people are free. I have a room key and everything. Sometimes you gotta stand against the giant you see or be relegated to inferiority, then subjugated as the enemy. But it's the Ritz-Carlton, baby. Not mama's baby, sickly swaddled between the slacks of the shack out back, while the white baby suckled magic gold dust from her rack. No, not mama's baby, but it's the Ritz, and I belong here, with all its splendor and mine, and all its history and mine, and all its amenities. I have quality extras too. Like the fact that I come from a long line of ancestry, from people who made it across the big river, who survived the trip. They didn't jump over, didn't get thrown over, but made it alive to these shores. And I don't know where exactly they came from, but today I get to tell their stories at the Ritz. Woo! How they survived and they didn't die, and how they built this damn hotel, and how they made it possible for Mr. Ritz and Mrs. Carlton or whoever to have 5 different fragrances of soap to offer me. I belong at the Ritz, even if it's to tell this story. I belong at the Ritz. The pool is always open, the exercise machines are always clean. Pinky finger danishes, washed down with rich, smooth coffee, for free, or maybe not. After forced labor was suspended permanently, people that look like me finally got a chance to chase the American dream. While the Ritz and the Carlton families already had the jump on generational wealth before me, and before my ancestry, that were born before me, that came to this land before me, and before every other person who sweat built wealth for this country. So now when I stroll up to the Ritz, and the doorman opens the door for me, I walk in like I belong there, like I built the place, like I cultivated the land underneath. I yell down the hall just to hear my echo, but instead I hear my ancestry, who force-cooked recipes, even though they first cooked them in a faraway land, and before that got those recipes from their ancestry in that same faraway land. And now they're being cooked in the kitchen at the Ritz. Some salt, a little pepper, a dash of dignity, a pint of pride. Mix Martin and a pot of Panthers, then turn the heat up to hell nah. Like my ancestors wouldn't set the city on fire for me to have all the things took from them. I ignore the lady walking out with the poodle in her arms and with the chauffeur driver not far behind. She doesn't look like me in the lobby. Her nose is stuck in the air, and she's not aging gracefully like me anyway, so I don't really care. I place my card onto the desk, and I say, "My room, please." It takes a bit for her to find me, so I have time to look around. The paint, the marble, the architecture, the annoyed family of 5 waiting behind me. They don't look like me. Maybe they're in a hurry. Maybe they traveled 500 miles to catch up to me. Maybe they're tired because every time they turn on the TV, another heist of their culture, another blow to their progress, another dismissal of their history, another bullet to their humanity, and a bunch of self-inflicted injuries. No need for me to stare too long at them, because remember, I was building the Ritz while they were building for their heirs, and I belong at the Ritz. My money is green, just like theirs. Thank you all. I appreciate you.